Call the meeting to order.
Here we go. We're going
Now
live.
you can record.
We're going live.
And we're going live. Okay, do we have any minutes from old meetings to review?
Got two.
Invocation.
I know, but I just wanted to make sure he had them.
Well, I got them in this digital thing here.
I don't have my digital thing. Will everybody stand and we will do the pledge and the invocation. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And remain standing.
Bow our heads. Lord, thank you for your grace and mercy. Bless our deliberations today. Give us wisdom to make and sound judgments and recommendations. We ask for these blessings in your name. Amen.
Amen. Excellent.
Amen.
Okay, Robert, will you call roll, please?
Mr. Leidig,
Present.
Mr. Cooper,
Present.
Mr. Nelson,
Here.
Mr. Dallas,
Here.
Mr. Carter,
Here.
Mr. Hand,
Here.
and Ms. McCullough is not here.
Excellent. We have a quorum. And I don't have my iPad. Has everybody read the minutes of the last meetings? Which ones do we have?
We have the one for P and Z from 8-9, and we have the one from 9-13.
Okay.
Wow. They really mean it. What's that?
What is that?
Car horns.
It's a car horn stuck in the on position.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Are there changes or corrections?
I have none, Madam Chair, and at this time I move for the adoption of both sets of meeting minutes from 8-9 and from 9-13 as submitted. Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimously approved, Robert. And we have some leftover things to discuss. We've tried to get a full board so we could do the elections. We have failed utterly. And last time we had the hurricane coming, which didn't come up. So we have to elect tonight. We do have one volunteer. So I'll call for volunteers. Would anyone else love to be chairman?
Wouldn't mind another spin.
Okay, we have two volunteers. Would anyone else love to be chairman? Would anybody like to make a nomination?
The position of vice chair being filled as well? If current vice chair becomes chair?
If he becomes chairman, we will need a vice chair.
Well, I did volunteer when we spoke the other day to
be chairman.
be chairman. I think I would prefer to serve as vice chair if Christopher Leidig were chair.
I'd be happy to take him under my wing.
Okay, no. We have to, I'm gonna make my speech. We have been fighting this off and on all year long. We have got to come up with a format for this group. We all know what the parliamentary procedures are and we follow them. We all know what's happening and we follow them. This "we'll do it my way" has got to stop. The responsibilities Sean, his term is up this month. We need to immediately decide, because there's been no format for what happens. Who notifies who? We're all appointed by the city council, and we serve at their pleasure. Our work is coordinated through Steve and his people. But this has to go to the city council. That's the reason we went 2 months, maybe 3 last year. We didn't have a quorum. There weren't enough people. You know, on this board, when the 7 of us are all here, on this board, only 2 of us have ever been here before. That should not happen. We need to document, and that's what I've been trying to do all year long. Pulling fingernails on chalkboard. But anyway, so no, we will. I will insist, otherwise I will not leave. Y'all have got to adopt a parliamentary procedure and an administrative document. You just have to do it. I promise me you'll do that. I
Well,
haven't.
have you been working on it? You've been working on it.
Yes, I've been working on it.
So you have kind of a rough draft?
I have a very rough draft, which I will turn over.
So you want us to,
I will come in and speak.
so you want us to continue that and finish it and
Yes,
come up
Yes.
with a final?
yes, yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, I will just aggravate y'all forever and ever. We need to vote. We now have a chair and a vice chair on the table. Chris wants to be chair. James wants to be vice chair. Anyone else have nominations?
I agree.
I support this too.
Motion second.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
We have a new chair and vice chair.
Huzzah.
Huzzah.
I would, first recommendation for pledge and invocation, don't call, because I got caught early on. Would you do that? No. Would you? No. Larry has agreed and he does a wonderful job. Keep the standard going.
See,
Are you
Larry
willing to
Preacher,
do? Yay, wonderful. Part of our governance that I have drafted out requires that someone go to the council at least once a year and give a report. I spoke with Robert, he has run the numbers, so we know how many we have processed this year, blah, 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 blah. We also know that we have that's way down.
Oh, no, you don't get out of this easy.
Oh, yes. I'm wearing my traveling clothes.
I will find you.
That's way down. Steve, do you want the one signed, or you want me to hang on to it to answer the next question? Okay. We, the chairman, I'm recommending that at least the chairman go once a year to give the board's report. The report this year has all the numbers. Robert has it ready. Anytime there's a vacancy on the board, I recommend that the chairman be the person to go to the council and say, we have a vacancy. It could be Robert, it could be our staff. Or you could trust the guy over there. That untrustworthy guy over there.
Hey.
So, but what is your feeling about it?
Prior to discussion, it's not really a fiscal year per se.
But it is.
This council, or not council, this board the reason we had to nominate officers at this meeting, we seat first meeting in November, is that correct?
Correct.
So in theory, it should have been last night's city council meeting when these individuals that you're speaking of
Correct.
would have gone and given a end of
Correct.
4-year
We,
report.
the draft says that you will elect in September, September. In October is a learning questioning period for the incoming officers. And October is when you go to make your report for the last fiscal year. We can do it in November also, because our year begins in November and ends in October.
And we still have one city council meeting left in October, correct?
Correct.
So,
So I have spoken with Robert.
and he has the numbers?
Yes, I've spoken with Robert about getting us on the agenda for the October meeting.
We could probably do that. You up for that, James?
Sure.
I would think it would be best if chair and vice chair attend that, just unity in numbers.
Sure, yeah, and the city council meetings have been getting pretty fun lately.
Yeah.
Especially when you buy ink by the barrel.
Yeah,
So was I supposed to petition to be renewed? I thought it was on their agenda.
I spoke with you. So yes, you're already on
That's
to be
what I
recertified,
was told.
to
Okay.
be re-upped for the next 4 years.
Did they vote on that last night or is that voted on in November?
It will be probably at this
Yeah, I
reading,
think it'll be next.
Okay, that makes sense.
this month.
Did you say 4 years?
Yeah, your appointment is for 4 years.
I thought it was for 2.
No, no,
Done?
no. It's for 4 years.
Why did I think it was for 2?
You were
some of us came
dreaming,
in,
sweetheart.
Yeah, I was a fill-in.
some of us came in the middle of terms,
Maybe that's what it is then.
so.
No.
I'll
I
go
got
back
the
and,
the paper here, your term expires in, October 2023.
And so does Chris's.
yeah, see, so it's term, 2.
But
No,
but
but you came in on the middle of the one, it's 4, but you came in when it was
Correct.
2 left.
because we were down here,
I
we didn't
understand.
have quorum.
But it's 2 in my mind.
Right.
Yeah.
4 in actuality, but 2 in my mind.
If you re-up, like when Sean re-ups, in November is his first meeting for the coming 4 years.
Gotcha. Yeah, I understand.
Until 26.
Right.
You should be up, man.
Well, I've got a year to think about it.
Well, that's true. Think it over.
Okay. I will get with Chris, James, and Robert and go over your draft. I did not bring it with me tonight. Frankly, I'm sick of fooling with it, you know? But
I think it needs to be more than one person's responsibility to do the draft and to
Yes.
come up with.
it's in a draft form. There are several items missing from it. One size does not fit all. Some things are needed, what I was talking with Robert about earlier. If you're training the staff of the city, the tools you use to train them with are different than the tools that we need, than this little draft document that we need. The parliamentary procedure is different for every type of work that you're doing. For us, we have main motions and minor motions. My recommendation is a major motion are those permits that we are reading and approving. When you do a permit, a major, you need a motion, a second, and have the clerk toll every member. If you have a minor, like approving the minutes, that's a minor motion.
Well, that's what we've been doing.
Recently.
Oh, recently?
But it's not in writing.
But it's not in writing.
I see.
And we need to formalize that and put those things in writing so that nobody has to think about it in the future.
Yeah.
And the board won't fall apart in the future,
Well, that seems easy enough, doesn't it?
right?
It certainly makes it easy for new members coming in
Correct.
to have a playbook.
A little, maximum, 10 pages, it's 6 pages. That you go, and that's it. You know 4 years, you know your term, you know the parliamentary procedure, you know the people. That's it. You know what we're doing and why we're doing it. You know what the Board of Adjustment does. Who knows what the Board of Adjustment does?
I do.
Okay? That's an example. I gave y'all at the last meeting that one little paragraph that told you what the Board of Adjustment did. Those little, just 3 lines. For the historic, it's the boundary lines that are in this little document. So anybody who picks it up and just glances through it, they know all of the rules and have all of the working information to get started. So y'all promise me, and I don't want your firstborn, but promise me, y'all will continue this and get this done. It's really, really, really needed. Should have been done 20 years ago.
Well, is that up to the responsibility of the chair and the vice chair?
Yeah,
We'll continue what she started.
Push on it, and
and,
if they need our help, we'll be here to.
and for parliamentary procedure, Robert did this, because this is what he does for the council, to tell them what to say. We don't need that, we need the parliamentary procedure. We open the meeting, this is a public hearing, we open the public hearing at the beginning, we do the full agenda, and we close the public hearing. At every item, we have a discussion, we have public comment. When we call the item, we have Robert or someone from the city, a clerk, certify to us that it has met all of the rules and regs. Based on that certification, we should be looking at it to say, is this good for the city? Is it good for the community? Is it good for the neighborhood? And when we get a motion and a second on that, when Robert tells you, if you're a nay, or if you have something you want on the record, that's the time to say it. You know, a polka dot house in the historic neighborhood. Just say, maybe they did used to have polka dot houses. But in today's world, I don't think it's appropriate, so no, I can't go along with that. So when, on those kind of things, if you're voting okay, you don't have to say why you're voting okay. But if you're voting a negative, you should state why. And you don't have to state, quote, codes and pages and why. It's your consideration that the city wants. We're, Bubba out on the street. Do I think it's good? Do you think it's good for the city? Do you think it's good for the community? Would you want it next door to you? That's what we're looking at. And if it's not, don't back off. Say, no, I don't like this. And this is why. And at the end of the discussion, when that item is done, you close public comment. Now, we can do it automatically because the chair will always ask, are there further comments or discussion? If it's all quiet, the chair has the authority to say, public comment is closed, without having to do the motion second, la, 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 la. Do y'all prefer that?
We can go that way.
Because it's perfectly legal and we can document it. It makes the meeting cleaner because we don't have an hour discussion. Our discussions are very brief. And to do motion over and over and over, it becomes comical. That's in my notes too, Robert. Okay. I'll get with y'all and with Robert at some point and turn over all of my notes and everything to you. And Robert needs to have somebody. We're missing 2 items that I've been trying to get from the city. At a very high level, personnel has an org chart. It has the mayor and the council, it has Paul, it has Steve. We're not there. Because we don't get a salary. And because HR does this. We are required by the LDR. We should be on the high level org chart. It should show we are reporting to the council and coordinating all of our work with Steve. Solid line to the council, dotted line to Steve. People forget we are an integral part of the city, and the city should acknowledge that. I have brought it up several times. Robert? I have brought it up several times. It needs to be there. If you're the redheaded stepchild, why are you here volunteering?
Well, maybe they should pay us.
No, 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 no.
No. You don't wanna go down that rabbit hole.
No, that's a rabbit hole. No.
Matter of fact, they used to do that. I remember I had to turn mine down because I worked for Uncle Sam.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was $50 a month or something to cover gas, driving property to property to property.
uh-huh.
Oh,
And I would never even allow them to give me a phone. That means you're on call 24 hours a day. No. The other item that I'm waiting on, that I have requested for this document, is a very high-level workflow. Permit comes in. Permit goes to. Now, it can go anywhere in this path. Some of the permits go everywhere. Some permits just shoot right straight through. But depending on the type of permit, one place it can go is to the big boys down in Gainesville for Regional Planning Council. All of our permits go to Regional Planning Council. Were y'all aware of that?
I think I realized that.
Some of those permits take months to come back. So when Robert gets his hands on it, that's part of what he has to explain to people. Sometimes they're contractors and they know everything. Sometimes they're like me, and it's like, I come in with it drawn on a napkin or something. This little tiny book will also help explain to the public, because we're the end of the trail out here. After everybody else has looked at it, is when it gets to us. It's been through Regional Planning Council. If it fails, we never see it. It's been through utilities, it's been through everybody in the city. If it fails, we never see it. Everybody has approved it until it gets to us. And we give it that final test. Is this a good idea? And there's 7 people up here, 7 opinions to make that decision. And if, and we've had this happen before, we turn an application down, it makes it all the way through to us, and we turn it down. That applicant has the ability to go to the city council and say, look what these bad people did to me, and then the city council can make the final call. If the public doesn't like and we approve something that we had 40 people show up, why did you approve that? They can get time on the city council and go and argue it there. So we can't be overridden by the city council. We can also be sued. Anybody can be sued anywhere, anytime, which is why when you vote against something, say why you're voting against it. And it could be, I just don't think polka dots are appropriate. It could be, this isn't a flood zone. Didn't anybody pay attention to that? It can be, because those are our decisions that we have to make. And yes, you can be sued. It's very unlikely. And if we have documented format for how we do and what we do, that's very good. Instead of flying by the seat of our pants. Any other discussion or question on anything so far? You comfortable? good. You comfortable? You comfortable out there, Steve, behind the post?
I know, I got right behind it,
So I couldn't see you
but
back
yeah. I moved
there.
over.
So I couldn't see you.
And he's hiding just out of throwing distance.
Would you like to come up and join in any of this conversation?
I'm just taking it all in, I think you're doing a good job.
Okay. Then, I think, what else do we have on our agenda?
Are you staying on the board or just going to go? Okay, so we need a new person.
That's right.
And when does that happen? How is
At
that?
at this same time that you're reconfirmed.
Right.
The council is notified that we have a vacancy.
Okay.
And they need to reappoint, that seat number 1 is now vacant.
So how long will they
Your
serve?
seat number 7,
The end of
4
their-
years, 4 years.
Okay.
The seat, the duration goes with the seat.
You are at the end of your 4-year seat.
I'm at the end, this is the end of my 4-year seat.
Okay.
If you came in late, so you only have 1 year.
Well, less than that, actually.
Yeah, so starting in November, you've got 4 years. If you resign halfway through, the next person, the reappointment, whoever they appoint, will fill out your 4-year term. The term goes with the seat, not with the individual.
What number am I?
I think, let Carnac think for a moment. You're either 5 or 6.
He's 6.
I'm set.
Oh, he's 7.
I'm the rookie.
Well, 1 and 7 for tonight. So you do the short stuff.
So the seat doesn't move up to 1.
No,
Sure.
the seat, I happen to be in seat 1.
Really?
It has nothing to do with the chair or anything else.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think they wanted me out first. That's why they gave me the seat. You know, I think so.
Rocking that boat, Vegas.
Troublemaker.
That's-
It's a wild question.
Yeah,
This, being sued.
Yeah.
Was the person, the individual, the board member, they're
can be sued.
total and they're liable, no city attorney, no,
That's correct.
no
We went
government?
through all of that. We've had battles over that. The city has several attorneys, we have none. It is up to us to do our own attorney. So,
Polka dots?
are there other items that we need to discuss, Robert?
That was it, just the election of the chair and vice chair, and then the discussion of the meeting budget.
Now, as of right now, the only permits that we have to be processed are those tiny little historic preservation, which are on the pre-approval list.
Yeah, but because we had to cancel due to the hurricane, this meeting was not adequately
We couldn't-
advertised, so
we
we're
couldn't
not
have
gonna be
it.
discussing those tonight. Those will roll to the next. They were all consent agenda items.
They'll be on the
Low
December,
complexity.
and as of.
November.
Yeah, on the November agenda. And as of right now, I think that's the only thing that's gonna be on the November agenda, right? Other than my baby, which y'all will, I'm sure, continue to discuss. Are there,
Is that November 8th?
It'll be the first Saturday, or first Tuesday of November.
that's the first paragraph in this little handout, by the way.
But it seems like it always changes.
Yeah, and it says, unless changed. And that's a definite maybe.
Right.
But we get notified.
Yeah.
So,
We should definitely look for packets to be coming on the digital or they may get delivered in paper, hard copy.
Digital.
deliveries are over.
No more.
And if anybody has any questions or concerns with the iPads, I'm more than welcome, or more than happy to work with anybody on them.
Yes,
I do have one question. For some of the larger packets that we've been getting digitally, I have noticed that it all comes in one large tranched PDF. Is it possible in the little sidebar of the table of contents to break it up by the actual petition number? So we're not sliding through the screen all the way to get through 100 pages of specs and, water management district reports and traffic analysis patterns to get to petition
Like
number
tabs.
2. Yeah, tabs, that's what I
I'll
was.
look at it and see, the way it does the agenda, it doesn't do that.
So the
So I'll
PDF
have to
document
break it.
won't allow it to
But,
be,
no, I'll have to break it
chaptered.
apart myself and do all that.
okay. Do we have an electronic record or an electronic document system? Steve?
No, not that well, everything is recorded so it can be pulled back up. But as far as y'all's information that's on those iPads.
No, like permits. Are they scanned in electronically?
We should have everything on our permit. Right now, the permitting system is going half through the county. So that depends on it's over $4,000. I don't know what they're doing on
You're
their side.
talking about petitions, though, not permits.
Well, petitions for permits. The petitions for permits that come in, which is what we get.
Yes.
If those are scanned in electronically, an electric records system, not electric document, but an electric record system is not that expensive.
Yeah.
And those, when you scan them in, you name them, you get the date on it, you have the people, just like a filing system.
Right.
And that way, anybody who's looking can pull them back up quickly and readily. If that's something,
Yeah, we can look into that.
will you look into that and come back and let them know what's going? Because that would be perfect. One-stop shop. If you're scanning them anyway, then electronically, you can just dig right into them. Anything else?
We're gonna miss you.
You just say that to all the girls.
till we drop the ball the first time and she'll be the one sitting in the front seat of the audience.
I may come sit back out here occasionally,
She'll be the
so
heckler.
y'all will know.
How long have you served on this?
5 years,
Be the one heckling us.
so.
What am I at? Am I at like 11 now or something?
No, actually, I looked you up, it's not been that long.
Feels like that long.
Yeah. It hasn't been. But anyway, it feels like that long to me. Further discussion, oh, one last thing. Point of, in parliamentary procedure, if you say point of information, it means you have a question and it stops everything that's going on. When you use a point of, it halts. I don't care who's here, I don't care what's happening, everything comes to a halt. If you say point of convenience, it means I gotta leave the room for a little while.
Okay.
If you say point of rule is the strongest of the three. Point of information means it keeps everybody from asking questions on top of everybody. My personal preference for our board and the way we do business is when you have point of information and you're recognized, you ask the question directly. You don't ask the chair who turns around and asks the person who comes, that's my preference. If that's your preference, the draft you get will show it that way. So, does anybody have a preference other than that? Okay, good. Point of rule means somebody is doing something they shouldn't be doing. It could be in the audience, it could be on the board, it could be anything. But point of rule brings everything to a halt. And the chair should address what is going on. If it's something the chair seems oblivious to, then the person calling for a point of order should make the chair aware of it. And the chair is the person who always addresses that. I have asked also that at the bottom of our agenda, because the public comes in and they get copies of our agenda and it's posted that way. We have never really held anybody to you can only speak 3 minutes.
It's bad precedent set.
That is
We're not
correct.
that complicated here.
That is correct. We're not that complicated. It's only rarely, and we serve the people. We do, that's our job. And it's very rare, but we do need one little blurb that gives us the authority to call if the talker won't shut up. And that should be the little blurb down at the bottom of the agenda. Because what we do needs to be consistent in all ways for everybody. And if we try to do 3 minutes, it's not gonna work. And 5 minutes, but we need a little blurb down at the bottom so that in some cases, time may be called.
We can work on language.
Yes, correct. That language needs to be there. I think I've done it, other than come back to heckle y'all. Anything else, Robert?
Nope.
Yes, sir.
I've got one. Now that, from a pandemic standpoint, things are starting to, descend, can we get rid of our hamster cages now?
Amen.
Can you ask the council if we can get rid of our hamster cages?
That's up to council, they use them too.
These are the councils.
Oh, I know they are.
These are the council.
I know they are, and I bet they'd like to get rid of them too, but maybe no one's thought to ask during a public meeting.
It seems a little ridiculous because we're all breathing the same air here.
Less than 6 feet.
We're not in,
I'll give it.
we're not in here.
Right.
We're out here. So what's the point? This is our coughing chamber.
Right.
Cough forward, don't cough.
Okay, if there is no further business or items to discuss, sure you don't want to come up and talk, Steve?
Good, thank you.
Motion to adjourn public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yay.
So what is the procedure to get your iPad unlocked?
Call it.